966.
Okay, my one big thing this week, I would expect many of our listeners and viewers have tried Saudi coffee already, but my one big thing this week is Saudi coffee. Richard, you're not much of a coffee drinker, and you're more of a tea guy, which I understand. But I live on coffee. It's the only thing I drink. And if you actually haven't tried Saudi coffee, it's sort of hard to find in the United States, but it's so good. It's like diesel fuel in terms of caffeine. Lighter roasts have more caffeine, so typically Saudi coffee has a lot. But yeah, it's more like a tea. It's golden in color, flavored with cardamom and other spices. This year, Saudi Arabia is launching as 2022, the year of Saudi coffee. It's a Ministry of Culture initiative. The visual identity and website was rolled out this week. The logo was inspired by the finjal, or the small coffee cup used for drinking coffee in the Middle East, which is also considered a symbol for Saudi generosity and hospitality. A range of initiatives and events will take place over the course of 2022, which will encourage the export of Saudi coffee to new international markets. In the past few years, coffee bean farms in Jazan have been given special attention as support for farmers has increased, and special care has been given to the Khawlani bean.
Yes.
I'm just so bad at pronunciations, but anyway, I guess I'll just wrap up my side of this with this. I think that there's a huge opportunity in the United States for Saudi coffee because it just tastes so good, and that it's just such a high caffeine content. So I'm actually jonesing for a cup right now, but unfortunately it's just regular Starbucks here in my house. So Saudi coffee is part of the Saudi identity. And if you go to Saudi Arabia, you almost can't avoid it. It's very much part of the welcoming hospitality fabric that Saudis have. So just the smell of it takes you back there.
Yeah. And you're right. I've never taken to coffee, although I made it through graduate school and years in the region. Although when I'm there, obviously, and we're visiting, and I'm happy to drink it. I much prefer it to American coffee. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely okay for that. It's really been interesting. We've talked about how Saudi Arabia is basically, it is part of its outreach to the world, and inviting tourists in and doing all these, but a lot of it is also putting forward their culture. And just in this past year, we've seen major festivals, major exhibits, and international organizations being very prominent in terms of camels. We did an episode on camels, dates. They have an annual, essentially month of dates. Falcons. They had a month-long auction of falcons, and now coffee. All these things culturally very significant in Saudi Arabia, and it's a lot of fun to see. And it's a lot of fun to see how they're sort of tying it all in together as something. This is native and original and traditional to us. And by the way, it might be really interesting to you, and we might even be able to monetize it. Speaking of monetizing, in 2021, coffee prices reached a 10-year high, and experts continue that coffee prices will maintain being high in 2022. All the way into 2023. So it's that was a hard one to say. So
well, you just need to drink more Arabic coffee, and it'll come right out.
Exactly, it'll come right out. So not only are they promoting their culture, they're maybe moving into an up market.
Totally, it's when you try to compare it to the U.S. and other places. Like, I'm trying to think if there's anything similar to how the sort of Saudi welcoming, and then there's always like a cup of Arabic coffee waiting for you. Like in the US and in the UK, there's not a single drink that we universally share with virtually everybody that comes in. And in Saudi Arabia, it's like everywhere you go is this coffee. I mean, airports, like people's homes, businesses, hotels, like everywhere you can find it. And it's so delicious. So yeah, I mean, maybe we'll cut this part out where we were talking about this would be a good business idea so that we can just get right to it. And anyway, Arabic coffee, delicious. If you're listening to this and you're a Saudi in the United States and you know a good place to get Arabic coffee, or a good place where you can get some instant Arabic coffee online, send us an email at the 966podcast@gmail.com.